Everyone, how's it going? So I'm here with the Tesla Model Y, as you can see there in the door sill. So this is Tesla Model Y, and we'll be doing something special with this Tesla Model Y. We'll be switching out this lock mechanism for soft closing. So you're probably wondering why. If you don't own a Tesla Model Y or 3, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But what this does is it allows you to close the door gently, and then it will soft close. It will suck itself in like that, okay? If you don't own a Tesla Model Y, or if you've been in a Tesla Model X or S, you know that shutting the door doesn't require too much effort. But for some reason, the Y and the 3, you really have to slam this for it to shut close completely. If you don't, then it ends up not closing all the way. Most of the time, your passenger will be closing the door like that, and especially when they're inside the vehicle. Tesla Model Y and 3 owners, you know what I'm talking about. So not all doors are consistent, and that's the reason why that we will be installing this soft closing mechanism. It's really just a switch between the lock on the OEM Tesla lock mechanism with this handshell version. So it's an easy swap. You don't have to run any wire. So this is probably the easiest install in terms of door mechanism versus the auto presenting door handle or auto open close. This will be the easiest. All you need to do is take off this door panel on the Model 3. On the Model Y, you have to take off this door panel plus the window. Yes, that sounds daunting, but anyone can really do it. You have the basic tools. So basic tools, you just need either a screwdriver. I have an impactor. You need a few Torx screw to be able to take off some of the bolts and then install this one. So there's 3 bolts, one underneath the switch there, one underneath the window switches, and one behind this reflector. So this one, yes, T30. So let's go ahead and take off this panel, and we show you how to swap this out. Let's go ahead and pop this reflector out first. T30 Torx screw. Under here. The unlock switch. And that's it. So now use the pry tool to get underneath. I like to start down here to get the light off first. So the window's gonna go up. You want to roll it down slightly. And now you can pry this open from the bottom. Wiggle the speaker out. And don't drop this. There's a couple wires you want to unhook. One being the actual lock mechanism manual lever. This you actually can rest on the ground. If you have epoxy ground and it's clean, it should be fine. won't scratch anything. If you don't, you might want to put some microfiber cloth underneath. And next, you want to get a 5x16 socket. And then unbolt all these around this window module. First, you want tape for the window alignment. And so when you take off the window, you don't have to put it back. Also these, take these off. There's 4 of them. They're basically rubber covering for those screws that you're gonna have to take out. All right, I put some painter's tape just to align the window with this rubber trim here, and then I mark it with a pen on both sides. So that will help me align the window once I put it back a lot quicker than just to eyeball it like before. Okay, next you want to take off this rubber, and how you start is there's 3 white clips underneath this rubber trim. So you can start from the edge using the pry tool. And this actually lifts up. And next, to remove this window, you're gonna have to, for the Y, you have to remove the window because this window actuator is actually connected in one piece. So the 3 big hole for the 10mm socket. Just lift the window up and put it in a safe spot. So now let's go ahead and unbolt the, what is this? 5/16. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. And there's 1, 2 10mm. This one should pop off fairly easy. I probably should have taken the window off first before taking off the bolt. So in case of this drop on you. So something to learn. But before you do, pop this wire out. And that's it. You can let the door base here rest on it. And then now you should have access inside the panel there to pull it out. But the screw is really on this side. So these 3 pull it out. Once you pull this out, you can pop this back in And this wire here, you can swap this manual wire with the hand show one. Okay. There is a connector right there. So there's a T15, the 2 screw. You can unbolt that. That's the cover behind the lock mechanism. You do have to pull that tab out. That tab. Pull that out. Let me show you from the top. Ooh, right there. So this wire here, you pull out this white lock and just pull it out. Now you can pull this cover open. Okay, and that will allow you to put the new lock mechanism in. Okay, behind this lock there's a cover. Okay, so the 3 bolts here was actually T25, so be very careful when you're taking those off. I almost stripped one, so make sure you gently torque it to the left, and if it doesn't budge and you feel that it's actually stripping, get a small head screwdriver, just tap it a little bit, tap on the actual lock, and it should wiggle off. Okay, so just be careful with that. And here's the OEM actuator, or not actuator, but the lock. You want to transfer this box over. Very similar to the hand show one. Okay, so here's the hand show one. Like, you don't even need this cover anymore. So, I mean, it's not waterproof or anything, but you actually don't need this cover. So save this cover for the OEM. Swap back if you need to. And now let's go ahead and place this. It does have its own screw. So again, T25s. Don't want to over tighten it either. So line it up with just one screw to hold it in place. Just so you see what I'm talking about, the manual lever that I pull out, it's just a little opening to the door slot. So from the hand show, route it back through, and then later you can connect it to the actual window actuator cover here. Now go ahead and put the other 3 T25 screw back on. And that's it. Put everything back in reverse order and you should be good to go. Make sure you tighten everything, hand tighten. Don't over tighten it, and then put the glass back on. Be careful putting the glass back on. Make sure you line up with the tape that you measured earlier with the marking. Then put the trim back on and you're done. So here's the first test. Perfect. And you actually can slam this like normal. You wonder if there's any delay based on other people's video. Let's take a look. So closing. Nothing unusual. Opening. Instant open. There is video out there where they claim that the door doesn't open right away. So you can count it. The moment I press, opens within 0.2 second, maybe less. And when I soft close it, It's not loud. The motor is not loud anymore. So this latest version solved the issue that a few other YouTubers out there were claiming that there's a huge delay with the Hensho soft closing. No longer the case. And the motor is super quiet. I'll post a link where you can find this. Again, from Hensho. And it also sounds much smoother and more elegant when you close the door fully. Tight seal shut versus the OEM lock. You see the sound difference? So this sounds a lot cheaper when you slam it versus the Hensho lock. I'm going to slam it as well. It sounds more like a luxury vehicle, similar to a Benz or a BMW or a Lexus when you shut it, the door. It just has that oomph. It's the small details, but huge difference when you're actually here and closing the door and comparing between the two. So listen to this one. Now you might be saying, okay, that's the rear door. So I haven't done the passenger side yet. So check this out. Same sound. So not only that you get soft closing, but you also get that luxury door closing sound. Not like people care, but some do. Right? For this amount of money for this vehicle, it should sound like this. That nice oomph versus right. All right. And if you're wondering how to do the rear doors, they're exactly the same. If anything, they're easier because there's one less screw. You don't have that reflector, but exact same method. You swap out and it works the same way. Again, opening it, closing it, you have that nice oomph as well as a soft closing if you don't close it all the way. Just like that. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you're interested in the soft closing. Check Hensho out, link in the description. We also have a discount code in there. Make sure you use that for up to 20, sometime 25%. Currently, I believe it's running around 15 to 20%. But that's still a great deal. Catch you all next time. Remember to subscribe.